Welcome to the spring selling season, otherwise known as the silly season for us real estate professionals. The WA economy remains very strong, which is reflected in the Perth residential market. And while prices do continue to rise, it's important to remember that WA is still the most affordable state for housing in Australia, as well as the most beautiful. While property prices are rising, it's not necessarily uniform across all suburbs. There are some suburbs that are performing particularly higher than others, and one of them being my favourite, which is Hillary's, which has shown an incredible growth of 19.7% over the past 12 months, compared to an average of 7.8% across Greater Perth suburbs. And Hillary's also, there was an interesting article in the West recently, shows that it's also in the top 10, quite clearly the #1 most viewed suburb across Perth. And it's not surprising to see why. One thing that is interesting that we're seeing is a lot of people from outside of Hillary's are looking towards this coastal suburb. They're coming from those higher end markets such as Floreat, Cottesloe, and seeing it as an affordable option. And the distance to the CBD, with a lot of people working from home, is no longer an important factor. So if you are looking at buying or selling in the current property market, I have a few tips for you. Buyers, do your research and have some clarity. Make sure you're clear with what your expectations are and what your budget is. If you don't have a good broker, I recommend that you do get one. It could save you thousands of dollars. Investors, act now. Prices are on the increase and there are tenants that are continuing to look for a long-term security with a rental property. And last but not least, sellers. While everybody is saying that this is a seller's market and you're getting very excited, it's important that you do not rush this process. Take your time, choose a structured sales campaign, market your property and maximize these great conditions for which you're selling your property in. You want to make sure that it's a smart sale and not just a quick sale. And while we are seeing properties sell at first home opens, it may not necessarily be the best price that you get for your greatest asset. As a very recent example, last weekend we just sold 27 Empham Way in Hillary's. Our vendors sat and listened to the options that were available to them and they decided to commit to the auction process. Now this was a 3-week campaign where we held 9 home opens and we had over 200 buyers go through this property. On auction day, we had 16 registered bidders and we achieved a sales price of $1,375,000. Now, if we rewind 4 weeks before, our vendors' expectations were around 1.2 million, with their dream price being 1.3 million. But by following this process, we got such a great result, over $100,000 over what their initial expectations were. So if you are thinking of selling, please make sure that you do not do a quick sale, that you do a smart sale. If you would like more information on selling or on buying in this market, please get in touch.